Hollywood hard man Bruce Willis is in actual fact a dedicated family man who refuses to take his fame and fortune too seriously. Movies he's starred in have pulled in around $3 billion at the box office, making him the 7th highest grossing leading actor. When Bruce got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2006, he recalled his long journey to the top.
I used to come down here and look at these stars, and I could never quite figure out what you were supposed to do to get one. And time has passed, and now here I am doing this, and I'm still excited about it. I'm still excited to be an actor. I'm still thrilled to be asked back and come out here and smile.
He was born Walter Bruce Willis in 1955 to a German mother Marlene and David, an American soldier. The first child of 4, he began life in West Germany, but when his father was discharged from the military 2 years later, the family moved to New Jersey. At high school, Bruce suffered from an embarrassing stutter until he found that performing on stage cured it. But instead of pursuing a dramatic career after leaving school, he took on a number of jobs as a security guard, driver, and a private investigator. However, he found he couldn't get acting out of his blood, and by the mid-1980s, he was in LA, competing for a role in the new TV show Moonlighting. He beat 3,000 other hopefuls to star opposite Sybil Shepherd in what would become a TV phenomenon. The show was to win him his first Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series and a Golden Globe, but it was his role as courageous cop John McClane in Die Hard that made him a household name. A surprise critical and financial success, 3 more films followed, continuing the saga of the tough cop and protector of the innocent. At the premiere of the 4th film, Live Free or Die Hard, in 2007, Bruce was proud to announce that almost 20 years on, he still performed many of the stunts himself.
The fact that I could do it, the fact that I could still do it, I'm like that, like they say in a movie, like a Timex watch. I want to say hi to my dad out there who couldn't come down tonight, and all my people down in South Jersey. South Jersey, a lot of South Jersey informed this character, and a lot of the sense of humor, a lot of that disrespect for authority that I continue to have.
Bruce's reputation has been built on playing the tough hero, but he also enjoys more morally complicated roles. In the breakout hit Pulp Fiction, he played a boxer on the run, and in 1997 he went to the Venice Film Festival to promote the thriller Last Man Standing. Adapted from a story by Japanese director Akira Kurosawa, Bruce played a thug and drifter who hires himself out to rival crime gangs.
I was interested in the notion of dealing with a character that didn't like himself, that has done a lot of bad things, a lot of evil things, a lot of things that could be interpreted as mercenary, based on greed, and I played so many heroes, that I was just getting bored with.
The following year, he starred in The Jackal, an updated remake of the 1973 classic thriller The Day of the Jackal, in which he played a ruthless assassin who's hired to kill a US government man. Bruce confessed he found the idea of a criminal life alluring.
No, you know what? It scared me because I got so close to it that I understood it, and I understood how easy it would be. It's that kind of thing, where people talk about you go up to the edge of a building and you get that compelling thing to want to jump off. Well, I got very close to the world of crime, and I almost maybe want to give up acting and, just start blasting, you know what I'm saying?
1998 saw the release of 2 big-budget action films in which Bruce played the good guy. In Mercury Rising, he was an FBI agent who goes on the run to take care of an autistic boy who has cracked a military code. He was attracted to the complex character of the agent, a man at the end of his tether.
Having done a lot of films that include spectacular blazing fireballs and gun battles, I've frankly gotten bored with that, and I now seek out films that have a much stronger storyline and things that I can act, because I'm kind of bored with running down the street with that gun in my hand, screaming, "No!"
In the blockbuster Armageddon, the stakes were much higher.
In America, in the yellow pages, you know, the comprend yellow pages?
Yes.
I have my name in there, and it says World Saver, and Jerry and Michael, I have an 800 number, and they just call me up now, and I've saved the world 3 or 4 times, and it's getting easier and easier to do. Occasionally I take time off from saving the world and do other films. I did a film after we shot this film called Breakfast of Champions, which is based on a Kurt Vonnegut book, which is a much different film, very small budget and a very different kind of film. So I try to do save the world and act in movies occasionally, other movies. Thank you.
The disaster film went on to become the highest-grossing film of 1998, helping to lift Bruce out of what was proving to be a slump with both critics and audiences. In the drama Heart's War, he played a colonel who sacrifices himself for his men. And in 2003's Tears of the Sun, he donned another uniform, this time as a lieutenant in the Navy. Bruce felt a personal connection to members of the armed forces.
The things that I saw in the film and I came away from the film was the notion of this bond of friendship that exists in this, you know, Navy SEAL team, and trying to be as honest as we could and really honor the you know, real Navy SEALs who are out there really, you know, fighting. You know, we got to go home at the end of the day, and you know, everybody in the armed forces really, you know, are doing a really difficult job right now.
2005 saw him join the dark, gritty world of Frank Miller's graphic novel Sin City. In the film adaptation, he lined up alongside other Hollywood hard-hitters like Mickey Rourke, Clive Owen and Benicio del Toro. The same year, he played a burnt-out police negotiator in the thriller Hostage.
I think actors are supposed to play roles where you're vulnerable and where you're trying to overcome obstacles. I think that's our job. You know, the other version is you know, comedy, where you're trying to make people laugh. But in a film like this, that's a very serious film and very complicated and has a lot of plot twists to it. I was very fortunate to have a director like Florent to kind of steer us through it.
Bruce's oldest daughter, Ruma, also appeared in the film. He'd insisted that she come in and audition, and was proud to see her win the small part. In 2006, he continued his run of flawed action heroes in the thriller 16 Blocks, where he played an alcoholic cop trying to protect a petty criminal. Director Richard Donner never questioned Bruce's ability to play the rather unflattering role.
I didn't have a doubt. I mean, Bruce Willis is a really solid actor. And, you know, if you look back on a lot of movies he's done, he's taken a lot of chances on some pretty bizarre films. And he also plays, you know, the hero. And I just thought this character may be appetizing to him because he could use his acting abilities and be secure in himself, who he was. And could he play a mustached, fat belly, relatively bald, drunken cop with a bad leg, but more important, internally play that.
The following year, as well as climbing back into the shoes of die-hard hero John McClane, he also starred opposite Halle Berry in the thriller The Perfect Stranger. Halle had had her heart set on Bruce for the role of Harrison Hill, a charismatic advertising man, and Bruce found it impossible to say no.
No, I don't think anybody can. I think it would be almost impossible. And I don't know why they asked me to do it. I came out in my little fuzzy rabbit slippers, bathrobe, and you know, she still wanted me to do it, so I thought that was a good sign.
Bruce Willis's career was originally built on his comic timing. The series Moonlighting, in which he starred from 1985 to 89, landed him an Emmy, as well as a Golden Globe Award for Best Performance by an actor in a TV series, comedy or musical. In 1999, he kept them laughing alongside Michelle Pfeiffer in The Story of Us, about a married couple considering divorce, despite the fact that Bruce was going through his own marriage breakup from actress Demi Moore at the time.
To use a metaphor, marriage is, I think, it's like a little garden that weeds grow up in every day. And if you don't tend that garden, and if you don't pay attention to keeping the weeds out, you're going to have a garden full of weeds, and you're not going to be able to see the flowers. And you got to pay attention to it. You can't take anything for granted. You can't take anything for granted. You can't take anything for granted. That's the point.
In 2000, Bruce won his second Emmy for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series for his brief but memorable stint on Friends. He was nominated for an American Comedy Award for the same role. Bruce has also lent his voice to a number of animated comedy films, including Rugrats in 2003, in which he played Spike the dog, who sings a duet with rock legend Chrissie Hynde.
Chrissy's just, she's just so sexy, just such a great singer, and I'm just a howler. I mean, Spike's just howling through that song. But it was big fun. It was a big fun process for me doing this thing, and I think it turned out really well.
In 2004, he teamed up again with Friends actor Matthew Perry in The Whole 10 Yards, the Hitman Caper sequel to The Whole 9 Yards. While promoting the film, he revealed how much he enjoys doing comedy.
In truth, this film exists just to make you laugh, just to kind of crack you up. In these troubled times in the world, it's a pretty good job to have to try to make people laugh. And we were trying to make each other laugh every day on the set.
A con artist raccoon may seem an odd role for the hard action man, but in the animation feature Over the Edge, RJ the raccoon leads a group of assorted animals into the suburban sprawl in search of food. At the Mexican premiere, he was thrilled to be doing it for the kids.
The most enjoyable part was going to see the film and seeing it with kids, seeing children laugh at one time in the film, and seeing the adults laugh at another time in the film.
Two of the star's standout hits can't easily be pigeonholed in terms of genre. In 1997, The Fifth Element, directed by French auteur Luc Besson, starred Bruce as a New York taxi driver in the 23rd century, who's called on to save the world from a dark force from a parallel universe. In 1999, he played the lead in the ghost drama The Sixth Sense. Commercially and critically successful, the film helped revive his career. Director M. Night Shyamalan was particularly pleased with the obvious chemistry between Bruce and his child co-star, Haley Joel Osment.
I think that superstars and children have an interesting relationship because there's an innocence on that person, and they rarely can meet anyone in the world that looks at them with, like, I see you as a person. And that's so rare, and I think that is a special thing between a superstar and a child.
Bruce won a Blockbuster Entertainment Award and a People's Choice Award, and was nominated for a Saturn Award for his sensitive portrayal of the child therapist. And he certainly impressed young Haley.
Bruce is a great guy, you know, working so very hard on the script and on the film, and we did all kinds of analysis on the set, and it shows that he's made the movie greater than it would have been. So he worked hard, great guy.
In 2005, he was honoured with the Order of Arts and Letters at the Culture Ministry in Paris. Minister Renaud Donadieu de Vabre thanked him for his contribution to international screen culture.
In your outstanding filmography, you have incarnated big-hearted heroes who always end up putting every dimension in their lives at risk. To overcome adversity and allow the force of willpower and human freedom to win.
Clearly thrilled to receive such an honour, Bruce reserves special thanks for the Frenchman who directed him in 2005's Hostage.
I'm very touched to receive this medal. This shows that cinema has no frontiers and that we all belong to the same artistic community. But I would not be here in front of you without my friend and partner, Florent Siri.
The same year, the country of his birth honoured him with the Film International Golden Camera Award held in Germany, the night before the Berlin Film Festival.
What does this award mean to you? It's really cool. It's actually really cool. I like this town. I always have a good time when I come here. It's always it's a good crowd, good fun, and wow, I'm about to burst into flame. Let me just step right over here and I'll keep talking to you. Be right with you. And I just feel a really strong kinship with this country. You know, I was born here, so it's pretty cool.
A year later, Bruce stepped up to receive his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Friends and family joined him at the ceremony. Traffic literally came to a standstill as Bruce unveiled the 2,321st star on the walk, an honour his good friend Ben Affleck felt was overdue.
All I really can say is that aside from being a big star and deserving of this honor, he also happens to be a hell of a good guy, a family man, and the sort of person who would go a long way for his fellow human being. And I think that merits recognition almost as much as all the great movies he's made. I am certainly very, very lucky and very proud to call him a friend, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
In 2007, one of his major hits was celebrated at the Smithsonian Institute, as Die Hard joined other artifacts of American cultural history in an exhibition. Bruce donated his character's shirt and ID badge to the museum, along with the original script. Bruce's other talent and passion is music. As well as releasing a number of albums, he often plays live. In 1996, he wowed the Berlin Film Festival crowd with his group The Accelerators, a hand-picked six-piece band. Bruce played the harmonica and sang. Later that year, The Accelerators supported Tina Turner on her American tour, and Bruce surprised everyone by jumping on stage to join her in a duet.
Yeah, so much of what I do in films is so removed from the audience, you know, and I started out playing you know, live music years ago before I ever got into acting, and I really missed that thing, just that live connection with the audience of do a show and get the response. So I do a film sometimes and it's like a year before the film comes out and people say, oh, I like 12 Monkeys or I like this movie or that movie, and I'm not really connected to it anymore.
Around 7,000 people showed up to a concert at the Kennedy Space Center Rocket Garden, where Bruce and his blues band entertained the crowd before a screening of Armageddon on a giant inflatable screen. For many years, Bruce's personal life seemed remarkably settled and peaceful. After meeting Demi Moore at the premiere of the film Stakeout, he went on to marry her in November 1987. They had 3 daughters, Ruma, born in 1988, Scout in 1991, and Tallulah Bell, born in 1994. However, after 11 years of marriage, the couple shocked the world by announcing their separation, finally divorcing in 2000. Bruce and Demi shared custody of their children and remained so close that gossip magazines began circulating rumors about a remarriage, until Demi hooked up with a much younger Ashton Kutcher in 2002. The following year, Demi breathed new life into her film career by appearing in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. Proving that there were no hard feelings between the former couple, Bruce bravely agreed to put in a cameo appearance.
Both times we've ever worked together, I killed him. You know, it was this... I was just the facilitator. I just made the phone call. It was really something that McG and Drew had, got, an idea of, and And probably for the same reasons that I had certain pressure from 3 very strong young ladies in my household, I think their father got the same.
At the premiere of the film, Demi turned up with both boyfriend and ex-husband in tow. The unusual arrangement started tongues wagging again. Bruce has consistently refused to comment on his relationship status and has become notorious for his lack of patience with the media machine. At the Mexican premiere of Over the Hedge, he turned his well-known antipathy towards the press into a joke.
You know what? I love the press. It's just a myth that I had any problems with, the press. I get along great with the press. I love them. They come over the house. They take pictures of me. We have little parties. It's just wonderful.
After his marriage split, Bruce dated a number of well-known beauties, including Maria Bravo Rosado and Emily Sandberg. In 2004, he attended the premiere of The Whole 10 Yards with 25-year-old fiancée Brooke Burns, who obviously thought things were going very well.
Oh, the romance is going wonderfully. He's one of the most wonderful men I've ever met in my life, and we have a lot of fun together.
While that relationship wasn't destined to make it to the altar, the romance between Demi and Ashton was clearly blossoming. And in 2005, with Bruce's blessing, they were married. 4 years later, Bruce married 30-year-old model and actress Emma Hemming. They followed up a small private ceremony at his home in the Turks and Caicos Islands with a civil ceremony in Beverly Hills 6 days later. As well as owning a number of properties, including a home in LA, a ranch in Montana, and a number of pieces of real estate in Sun Valley, Idaho, Bruce has his own motion picture production company called Cheyenne Enterprises. He was also one of the co-founders of the chain of Planet Hollywood theme restaurants. Bruce has always been a big supporter of the American Armed Forces and their work. In a 2003 visit to serving men and women in Iraq with his band Accelerator, he was rumored to have offered a $1 million reward to the first American soldier to capture Saddam Hussein. The actor and his 3 daughters joined friends and colleagues at the star-studded telethon in 2005, held to raise money for the devastating December tsunami in the Indian Ocean. And at crooner Tony Bennett's 80th birthday celebrations, he couldn't resist an opportunity to play the fool with George Clooney.
I guess we can tell the story now that he's not here. George and I were doing a picture back in 51. It was me, George, the Duke. I think we were out in Santa Fe. John Wayne. His friends call him the Duke.
I had to call him John Wayne.
John Wayne. But Tony Bennett was up for a small part in that film and got beaten out right at the last minute by a very young Jerry Lewis. And
really
broke
changed
his
his
heart.
career, broke his heart. Got him into music, though.
He started singing then. And we're here tonight honoring him. And so his misfortune back in 51, our loss, I think, right?
I think we both, the acting world lost.
That picture was called The Horse Whose Leg turned a little bit to the left.
It's translated in Spanish.
In Spanish, it's better. It's a better
like,
title.
The translation doesn't
That's
sound
muy macho.